Imagine moving into a new apartment, a fresh start, a blank slate. You unpack your boxes, arrange your furniture, and start dreaming of the future. But what if that blank slate wasn't so blank after all? What if your new home already knew your deepest, darkest secrets? What would you do? This is the true, chilling story of a man named Alex, whose dream apartment turned into a living nightmare, a place that seemed to know him better than he knew himself. Alex was just an ordinary guy, a software developer looking for a change of scenery after a tough breakup. He found the perfect spot, a modern minimalist apartment in the heart of the city. The rent was a steal, and the views were incredible. On his first night, surrounded by half-unpacked boxes and the smell of fresh paint, he felt a sense of peace he hadn't felt in months. He was finally home, or so he thought. It started with something small, something he almost dismissed. A bright yellow sticky note on his bathroom mirror. On it, in neat, unfamiliar handwriting, was a single sentence: "Hope you feel better about the argument with Sarah." Alex froze. Sarah was his ex-girlfriend. They had a huge fight the week before he moved, a fight no one else knew the details of. He ripped the note off, his heart pounding. Must be a prank, he told himself. Maybe the previous tenant left it. But how could they know about Sarah? He searched the entire apartment, checking every closet, every drawer, under the bed. Nothing, just an empty, silent space. He tried to shake it off, blaming the stress of the move. The next morning he found his favorite coffee mug, the one his sister gave him, placed perfectly on the kitchen counter next to the coffee maker, already filled with water. He distinctly remembered leaving it packed in a box labeled "Kitchen Fragile." He hadn't even opened that box yet. A cold dread began to creep up his spine. It felt like someone was there with him, an invisible roommate who knew his morning routine. He started to feel watched, a constant, prickling sensation on the back of his neck. The silence of the apartment was no longer peaceful. It was heavy, suffocating. Over the next few weeks, the strange occurrences escalated from unsettling to terrifying. One evening, Alex was thinking about a confidential project at work, a new algorithm he was struggling with. He hadn't told a soul about it. As he sat on his couch, staring blankly at the wall, his laptop, which was closed on the coffee table, chimed with a notification. He opened it to find an email draft addressed to his boss. The subject line read, "Project Nightingale Solution." In the body was a perfectly coded solution to the very problem he'd been stuck on for days. He had never written a single word of it. His blood ran cold. The apartment wasn't just moving his things, it was reading his mind. He started losing sleep. The nights were the worst. He'd hear faint whispers, like a distorted radio, seeming to come from the vents. Sometimes, he'd catch a fleeting shadow moving in his peripheral vision, a dark shape that would vanish the moment he turned his head. One night he was woken by the sound of his phone buzzing on the nightstand. A text message from an unknown number. It read, "You shouldn't have lied to your mother about visiting last weekend." He had in fact told his mom he was too sick to visit, when in reality he just wanted to be alone. How? How could it know? Every secret he held, every white lie he told, every private thought he had, the apartment seemed to absorb it all, and then throw it back in his face. Was he going crazy? Was this some elaborate high-tech prank? Or was it something else? Something paranormal? Alex became obsessed with finding answers. He bought bug detectors, sweeping every inch of the apartment for hidden cameras or microphones. He scanned for rogue Wi-Fi networks, hacked into his own devices to check for malware. He found nothing. Absolutely nothing. He spoke to his neighbors. They were all normal, quiet people who barely knew he existed. The building manager swore the previous tenant was an elderly woman who had passed away peacefully in a hospital, not in the apartment. Driven by a mix of fear and desperation, Alex decided to set a trap. He wrote a fake secret in a private journal. "I'm meeting a private investigator at the corner cafe tomorrow at 10 a.m. to discuss the strange things happening here." He left the journal open on his desk and went to bed, his heart hammering against his ribs. The next morning he found a new sticky note, this time on his front door. It said, simply, "Don't bother. He can't help you." That was the breaking point. This entity, whatever it was not just watching, it was intelligent. It was toying with him. That night, summoning all his courage, Alex stood in the middle of his living room and shouted into the empty air, "Who are you? What do you want from me?" The only reply was the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of city traffic. Then, he saw it. For a split second, reflected in the dark glass of the window, he saw a tall, slender shadow standing right behind him. He spun around, but there was nothing there, just empty space. He never found out what, or who, was haunting his apartment. Was it a ghost, an advanced AI, or a stalker with technology beyond comprehension? The mystery remained unsolved. Alex broke his lease and moved out the very next day, leaving most of his belongings behind. He couldn't bear to take anything from that place with him. He never looked back. To this day, he lives with the chilling knowledge that for a few terrifying months, he lived in a place that knew all his secrets. It makes you wonder, are our secrets ever truly safe? What would you do if you discovered your new home knew everything about you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this story sent a shiver down your spine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more true mysteries that will keep you up at night. And stick around, because our next story is about a phone call from a number that shouldn't exist. You won't want to miss it.